Hello students, let's do data handling exercise 24A. So we are on page number 261 and with question 4. Following data shows the weekly wages in rupees of 10 workers in a factory. So this is the amount that 10 workers get in a factory and this amount is in rupees. Now there are three questions for us to answer. The first one is we have to prepare a frequency distribution table. So first let's do that. So let's prepare a frequency distribution table. Remember, this table will have three columns. Okay, so three columns are there. The second column and the third column, the titles will not change. This will be the same for all frequency tables. It's only the first column that will change depending on the question. So here I have written weekly wages in rupees because that is what is given to us. These numbers, what are these numbers? These numbers are all the weekly wages. So I put that here. Okay, so we have drawn the table. We have the three columns. Now let's begin the next step. So here we have all these numbers or data given to us. This is called the raw data because it is arranged randomly. Now we are going to first arrange them in ascending order. That is, we start with the smallest one. So let's look at the smallest number. So here we have 3,500. Let's see if there's anything smaller than that. So let's go ahead and check carefully. We have 3,750. Okay, so this is the smallest 3,500. So let's write that down. So that is 3,500. Now here for each one you don't have to write rupees because we've already mentioned that this weekly wages is in rupees. That means all these numbers that we're going to write here will be in rupees. So we finished 3,500. Let's cross it out. Now let's see what is the next one. So here we have 3,750. So let's write that down. 3,750. Now what's the next one? We don't have anything else in 3,000s. So if you look carefully, you can see 4,000. So is there anything less than 4,000? No. So we have all the 4,000s. Let's cancel it off because we're going to write it. So we have 4,000. Then let's go on to the next one. Now, which is greater than 4,000? We have 4,250. So let's write that and remove all the 4,250. So now we know that we have removed this. Now what is left? We have only one left, that is 4,750. So we have written down all the numbers in ascending order. We have not missed out anything. That's why we crossed it out. So we have not missed out anything. Now the next thing to do is to see how many times these numbers have occurred in that list. So let's go back to this list. Now here we have 3,500. Now only once. So let's draw a tally mark, a stroke. So one stroke to show that 3,500 has occurred once. Now what about 3,750? So let's try this out. Now 3,750 we have one. Okay, we have only one. So again, here also only one stroke. So the tally mark is 1. Next is 4,000. Now, how many times we have? 1, 2, 3. And one more, 4. 4,000, 4 times. So 4 strokes. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have the tally marks there. Next is 4,250. So we have 1, 2, and 3. So 3 strokes. 1, 2, and 3. And then we have 4,750 ones. So now let's write the frequency, that is how many times have these numbers occurred. So here we just have to count the tally marks and put that here as frequency. So 3,500, the frequency is only once it has occurred. 3,750 also only one. 4,000, count the tally marks, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the frequency is 4. 4,250, count the tally marks, 1, 2, 3, so that's only 3. And the last one is only 1. Then we have a final step, that is the total. So we count the frequency and see. So here 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 4 is 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So let's write that this, that is 10, and this tells us how many times these wages have occurred. So if you go back to the question, you can see it says the weekly wages of 10 workers. So this number is correct. 10 workers are there and this is their weekly wages. So now the next question is, what is the range of wages in rupees. Remember, when we are talking about range, we are talking about the difference between the highest wage and the lowest wage. So let's write that the highest and the lowest we have to subtract. So the highest is 4,750 and the lowest is the first number, which is 3,500. To find the highest and the lowest, you just have to look at this ascending order. We started with the smallest and ended with the highest. So the first number and the last number, if you subtract, you will get the range of wages. So now let's subtract these two. So 4,750 minus 3,500. So subtract 0, 5, 7 minus 5 is 2, 4 minus 3 is 1. So this is 1,250. Since this is in rupees, we write the unit 1,250 rupees. So what is the range of wages? 1,250. Next question is, how many workers are getting the maximum wage? So we have to fill in this blank and say how many workers are getting the maximum wages here. So which is the maximum? Maximum is the highest. And the highest wage is 4,750. Now how many workers are getting that? Only one. Only one worker is getting the maximum wage. So let's write the answer here. We'll write the answer as one worker is getting the maximum wages. Question 5. The marks obtained by 40 students of a class are given below. So what you see here in blue are the marks obtained by 40 students. Now we have to answer these questions. The first one is construct a frequency distribution table. So let's begin with the first question. So we're going to draw a frequency distribution table. We're going to have a table with 3 columns. Remember, the second column and the third column will have the same titles as all frequency distribution tables. Only the first one depends on the question. And here it is marks because here the question says these numbers are all the marks that 40 students got. So we're going to write down the marks here. So when you construct, the next step to do is arrange the given raw data in ascending order, starting with the smallest number. So let's look and see which is the smallest number. So here we have 80 and then we have 10. So do we have anything less than 10? So let's look and see. We don't have any number less than 10. So we begin with the number 10. So 10 is the first number that we write here. Let's strike it off. So 10 is taken off. Now let's look at the next number. So here we have 30. Do we have less than 30? Yes, we have 20. So let's write down 20. So no, we know we have written it and let's strike it off. Strike off all the 20s. Okay, 10 also let's strike out 20. So 20 again. Okay, the next number is 30. We saw 30 there, so let's write down 30. 30 is written, so let's strike off 30. So 30 is removed. 30. Again 30. Wherever you have 30, you remove it off. Okay, the next thing is we have 40. We saw 40, 50, 60. So let's write that down. 40, 50, 60. Okay, so it's all ending in zeros. So we have done that. So let's strike off 40, 50 and 60. So here 60, then we have 50, 40, 40, 50. Strike off all these numbers because we don't want to repeat them. So let's strike it off. So 40, 50 and 60. So we know that we have covered all numbers. So we've struck off 40, 50 and 60. So what are the numbers left? So here we have 70. Here we have 80. Let's go ahead and see. Then we have 90. Again 70. So we have, it's all in ending in 0. So it's easy. So we have 70, 80 and 90. So let's write that down. 70, 80 and 90. Do we have 100? No, we don't have 100. So what did we do here? We arranged all the given data in ascending order from small to big. Next is we're going to put the tally marks. That is, we're going to count how many times these numbers have occurred in that list. So let's go with 10. Let's begin with 10 and see how many times we have 10. So we have 10 here. Let's strike it off. We have 1 10 here. Then we have one more 10, 2, Carry on the first row. In the first row we have only 2, second we don't have. So our tally marks will be 2 strokes. So 2 strokes because 10 has occurred 2 times. Now 20, let's see 20, how many times has 20 occurred? So here we have 1, then continue 2, 3, we have 3, 20. So 3 strokes or 3 tally marks. So 1, 2 and 3. Next we go to 30. Let's see 30 how many times? 1, 2, 3 in the first row. In the second row we don't have. So again we have 3 tally marks. 1, 2, 3. Then we'll go to 40. In the first row we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Then in the second row 5, 6, 7. So totally we have 7 tally marks. So see how we are doing it. 1, 2, 3, 4. The fifth one is drawn like this to form a bundle. So that is 5, 6 and 7. Then let's go to 50. 50, let's see how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the first row. Then we have 6. We have 6 50s. So that means we need to have 6 tally marks. Let's draw that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 was drawn like this and 6. 5 plus 1, 6. Then let's go to 60. So 60, let's start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 60s. So we have 7. So let's do that carefully. 1, 2, 3, 4. Draw the 5 like this. 6 and 7. 5 plus 2 is 7. Now let's go on to 70. So 70 we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 70s. So let's draw the tally marks. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So that's a bundle of 5. Now 80. 1, 2, 3 in the first row. In the second row, 1 more, 4. That's it. So we have 4. Let's draw 4 strokes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's go on to the 90s. So in the first row, there's 190 there on top. Continue 1, then 1 more, 2. And the second row, we have 1 more, that is 3. So we have 3 here. So 1, 2, 3, 3 90s. Now go back and check whether you have struck off every number that is given there so that you've not missed out anything. So we finished. So now what we're going to do is we're going to write the frequency. That is, we have to count the tally marks and write the frequency. So tally marks for 10 is 2. That means 10 has come twice. Tally marks for 20, 3. So the frequency is 3. 30, 1, 2, 3, 3. Now 40 is 5 plus 2. Remember, this is one bundle of 5. 5 plus 2, that is 7. Next one is 5 plus 1, that is 6. Next is again 5 plus 2, which is 7. Then we have 5, 4 and 3. So we have all these numbers. Now we're going to find the total. Now tell me, what should the total be? If you look at the question, it says the marks obtained by 40 students. That means my total has to be 40. That means I've covered all my marks. So let's count and see. Let's count. 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 plus 7 is 15. 15 plus 6 is 21. Plus 7, 28. Plus 5, 33. Plus 4, 37. Plus 3, 40. So the total is 40. So that means our answer is correct because here it says 40 students and we have covered all the marks. So we have 40. So we have answered the first question. Second question, we have to find how many students, number of students that have marks equal to or more than 70. That means students who have marks that are 70 or more than 70. So let's look at the frequency table here. Now 70, there are 5 students who got 70 and more than 70 also. So we have to add up these also. So how many got a 70, let's write that 5. Then more than 70, how many got 80? 4. How many got 90? 3. Okay, so can you see now the frequency distribution table helps us find out all this easily. We don't have to go back to the raw data and check and count, especially when you have so many numbers. So now it's very easy from this table to find out. So 5 plus 4 plus 3 is 12. 5 plus 4 is 9, 9 plus 3 is 12. So 12 students have got marks equal to or more than 70. Next question is, how many students have got marks below 40? So below 40 means you don't include 40, but the numbers less than 40. So that will be 3 plus 3 plus 2. 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. So less than 40, 30, how many of them have got? 3. 20, 3 and 10 is 2. So 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. So students that have got marks less than 40, the number is 8. Question 6. Arrange the following data in descending order. So we have raw data here. We have to arrange them in descending order. Descending means from big to small. So first let's do that. So descending order, let's arrange all this. Now here the biggest number 3.3. Let's see which is bigger, 3.7. We have 4. Then we have 4.1. So 4.1 is the largest number. So let's begin by writing that. So 4.1. So let's strike it off. So 4.1 is done. Now let's see, we have 4. So we have 4. Let's write that 4.0. So 4.0. And then let's go on to the 3's. So here we have 3.7. Then we have 3.9. Okay, so 3.9. There's one more 3.9. So we have 3.9. The next one will be, let's go ahead and see, 3.7 is there. Now we have 3.8. So let's strike off the 3.8s here. So 3.8, 3.8. So that is done. Then we have 3.7. So strike off 3.7, 3.7. Then we can see a 3.6. So let's strike that also off. So that is done, 3.6. Okay, then there is a 3.5. So let's write 3.5 and strike it off. So 3.5 is struck off. That's it. Then there is a 3.4. 3.4. Let's strike that off. So we have 3.4 here at the end, right at the end. Now the numbers left are, as you can see, 3.3, 3.2 and 3.1. So let's write those. 3.3, 3.2 and 3.1. So we have finished arranging in descending order. Now what are the questions that we should answer? Determine the range. So here we have to find out the range of these numbers. Remember, to find the range, what should you do? Subtract the highest number and the lowest number. So from the range you can make out which is the highest number, which is the lowest number. You don't have to waste time going through this data again. This will tell us. So the highest number is 4.1 and the lowest number is 3.1. So let's find the range. The range is highest number minus the smallest number. So the highest number is 4.1 and the lowest number is 3.1 minus the 2. So the answer is simply 1, highest minus smallest. Next one is, how many numbers are less than 3.5? Okay, so let's write the question. Numbers less than 3.5. So again here you don't have to go back to the raw data and check. Just look for the number 3.5. So here we have 3.5. Now what are all the numbers less? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are 4 numbers less. So what is the question? We have to write the numbers that are less than 3.4, 3.5. So 3.4, 3.3, 3.2, 3.1. So how many numbers is that? The answer is 4. So we have 4 numbers less than 3.5. Next question is, how many numbers are 3.8 or above? Okay, 3.8 or above 3.8, how many numbers do we have? So let's begin that answer. Numbers are 3.8 or above. So let's look at 3.8. We have 3.8 here. So that is 3.8 or more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's see how many times 3.8 is occurring in the raw data. Now if you look at the raw data, here we have 3.8. Is there another 3.8? We have one more 3.8 here. So 3.8 is occurring 2 times. Then what about 3.9? Let's see, 3.9 is there once and there is once more. Okay, so that's 2. Then what about 4? We have 4.0 here. Do we have any more 4.0s? No. And the last one is 4.1 and we have 4.1 coming once there. So now we have to count this and see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 times. That means numbers that are 3.8 or above are 6. The number, how many numbers is the question? So the number is 6. We have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 6 numbers that are 3.8 or above 3.8. So children, we've come to the end of this exercise. Thank you, children.